Uh-oh. What up? What up? What up? What's goody out there, everybody? What is going on? We are here. We are live, live, live. Hypeman is in the building. Look froze right now. Hype man. You there, Hype man? Whistle Gang Podcast. We are here. It's another episode. And it's a lot of shit, a lot of things to talk about. A lot of things went down today. A lot of things been going on these past couple weeks. Kind of been quiet, you know what I mean? Really didn't want to be, but been kind of quiet out here. But it's time to talk. It's time to talk 49er football. It's time to talk 49er football and do what we do. It is time to talk 49er football. And gives the people the real. Hype man. You in the
Yo, what's
building?
good with you? I'm in the building. You can hear me?
Can hear you, man.
We good.
Can hear you. I need to turn the levels up a little bit, but we are here, and it's a beautiful Wednesday night. Long day at work.
Yes, sir.
Kyle
Very
Shanahan
long
and
day.
them came out talking today. Um,
Uh, right on time too.
yeah, right on time, right? So where you want to start? You see, I'm dressed in the all black tonight because that's how I'm feeling about the team and the season and everything. But where you want to start at?
I mean, there's so many places we could start. We could start. Let's talk about one of the most talked about parts of the season, defensive coordinator. Man, everybody was talking about that.
The
or
defensive
or do you want to?
coordinator.
Or do you want to just start about the season, man? Like how the season went. I mean, it's so many places.
Um, yeah, let's give the rundown on the season first.
All right.
Thoughts of the season. Let's start there. That's a good way to start. Let's start on thoughts of the season.
All right, man. So, what's your thoughts about the season? Like, like how do you feel, man?
I feel we wasted a season. Um, I feel like um I'm a curse guy.
Hmm.
So I said it from as soon as I saw the Madden cover
Right.
that it that he was going to be cursed, but I didn't think it was
Hmm.
going to affect the whole team. So
Okay.
I believe in that stuff. I played baseball growing up. I'm superstitious. So I knew the season was gonna be funky with him doing that Madden cover. So I came into it with that, and it got worse and worse as we went along.
Right.
I think some people on the team revealed themselves,
Hmm.
like Campbell or whatever the case may be. Um, lot of we got to see our rookie class. I thought that was the highlight probably of the season, that we got to see the rookie class play, and I would say that they drafted a really good rookie class last year. Um, with Mustafa and Green, Pooney. I think we hit it on all those levels on the picks on the draft from last year, and I think also we kind of showed Kyle Shanahan that people have caught up to his offense. It's not as creative as it used to be, in my opinion, and that our defense is stale. That base defense, that Y9, in my opinion, just doesn't work
Hmm.
in this day of age of football. But I thought, and I think we spoke about it numerous times, that we still had a chance because there's so much talent on this team. And after the bye, that we would do our old normal 49er stuff and kick it into high gear and, make a playoff run. And I always said that that week 18 game at the Cardinals would have been for the division.
Yeah.
Didn't happen like that because we hit another losing streak. But um, overall, obviously, crappy ass season, man. And I don't want to blame it all on injuries because a lot of the guys were healthy and played a lot of the games. But I mean, at the end of the day, it was just a crappy ass season. So I think that's my thoughts on the season. If that makes sense. It look like you might be froze. You there, hype? No, hype. No. Oh, yeah. So that's what's your thoughts on the season, man? If you watching at home, drop it in the comments. What's your thoughts on the season? How did the season play out for you? What were some highlights of the season? Um, let me know what your thoughts are on the season, on this season. Hype
This joint,
man.
this joint keep crashing. I don't know why it's crashing like that. You can hear me though.
So huh?
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I bet. So 6-11, right? 6-11. That was our record.
Yep.
I remember when we had our preseason kickoff show, right? We got a little joint, then. And after the Jets game, I was like, all right, we who we are. You know what I'm saying? We got the Super Bowl lost out of our system and we here to play. Injuries came. I feel like I don't know if the league caught up with Cal this season or if it's like personnel, right? I know they always say next man up, but sometimes the next man up is not ready for their role. You know what I mean? Um, Case in point, Mason started off good, right? Like everybody's like, "Oh, Mason, yeah, we ain't missed a stride. Like we good." He got a little cocky after the first couple of weeks of having success. Instead of just continue to hit the holes, he was dancing before he got to the holes. And then he got injured. Then we ain't really seen him again. You know, um, I just think it was so many things on and off the field that, as a team, we wasn't focused. Through the tragedies, through players getting more popular within social media, a la Debo Samuel, right? Podcasting. I think he lost his focus. And I say
Facts.
that not just for us, right? Look at there's two players in the league. There's a couple players that have podcasts, but there's two players who are supposed to be dynamic at their positions, Debo and Micah Parsons. They both have popular podcasts, so their focus is not on the game. If you ask me, that's what I think. There was a lot of distractions for us this season, and we just didn't have it. We just didn't have it, man. I believe we could have went to the playoffs. We just didn't have it as a team, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. I just think it was one of those seasons, man. Some guys didn't get over the Super Bowl. Some guys are just minds are elsewhere. So I think that's what it happens to team. I didn't think it would happen to us, but it happened.
Super Bowl hangover, man. I
Mm-hmm.
um I saw and got to talk to Mooney Ward in the airport um right after the Buffalo game because
Right.
he was flying back to be with his family, to be with his wife because she was pregnant and and all that kind of stuff like that. And obviously this is after the loss of the baby girl. And he said to me then, which I've met him before, I know him through a mutual friend. So I've talked to him like personally and stuff like that. But he said, "Man, there's a black cloud over this team." That's literally what he said to me. And then it had already happened. He didn't say it, and then like it was like that Tuesday, the news came out about Trent Williams losing his twins and stuff like that. So it's just like, damn, when he said black cloud, like this is what he really meant. Like there's some wild stuff going on with this team. So it
Mm-hmm.
was it was just a bad year, bro. Bad, crappy year. Horrible year.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I know there's some people saying that Kyle they figured him out. He's not good. I just think it was so much going on, and you know people inside the building just like I do. So they you get some of the inside information, and they were saying like, hey man, like it's just so much adversity inside the building right now. It's just like it's so much cattiness and it's just tense, like you know what I mean. And
Correct.
it's not even about the game of football. It's about whatever's going on in everybody's life outside of football. That has everybody not focused on the thing that they're there to do. Is that's to focus on football.
Correct.
Yeah,
What damn, it's crazy, man. It just sucks. Like, damn, like us, we're not in the playoffs. Like it
it's a funny feeling, man. It's
is
like weird.
wild. It is wild. Um, yeah, I mean, we should be at Levi's getting ready to go. I should be getting ready to go to Levi's. Trying to
Right.
figure out it's a snowstorm coming here. Make sure I can get my flight to get out to the game, or
Yeah.
actually be resting. 'Cause we should be the one seed, waiting for next week to see who we
Wait for
gonna
next
play.
week. Yeah, it's just weird, man. Like you know, uh, I reached out. We from the town. We from back home in New York,
Hell yeah,
uh, and I reached out to some of my family members. I said, I do now know how you all feel, both Jets and Giants fans, because you watch everybody else play in the playoffs and you at home. I do understand. I mean, not saying we always went to the Super Bowl or whatever, but playoffs was a sure win for us for numerous of years. So
correct.
it's weird, but it's also a blessing. I think I look at it at a different perspective. This is like the first time in a long time that we really have a real off season where we don't just jump in right from like Super Bowl or losing the NFC Championship, and you have a short amount of time to get your thought process, of what you want to do for the off season, who you want to go after, what moves you want to make. Now we have a full perspective of we can get down to the root cause of the problem. And I think Kyle kind of, I know we're gonna get to that, but I think he kind of figured out like what he needs to do. If you ask me what the root cause is, I'll share that with you when we get to that point.
Yeah, he made some good comments today. So yeah, what you want to go straight to the defensive coordinator since you said that's like the hottest topic?
Let's go to it because everybody was in on it. You know what I'm saying? We need to move on. We moved on.
I'll I'll let you go first.
So, um,
Hold up. I guess let me start it off.
yeah,
So obviously everybody knows Sorensen was our defensive coordinator. He's been with the team for a couple of years. And they brought in Brandon Staley to be the whatever in the background to kind of help him, but it was his defense. But at the end of the day, it's still Kyle Shanahan's defense, which is my biggest problem. It's Kyle Shanahan's defense, which is the wide nine, and he up to today or whatever, he did not want to change. Um, so it's been Kyle's defense. That's the reason why he went with Sorensen. He didn't want to shake things up and bring in anybody else from the outside. Um, and that's his boy. Now, total defense, we finished sixth in the league, but that just accounts for total yards. So that doesn't take into account all the other things that we've seen if you watch the game and every play and blah 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 blah. So as everybody knows, everybody wanted him fired. He is fired. I was wrong. I was telling everybody I didn't think he would be fired because
right,
one,
right.
Kyle
I
Shanahan's
see that.
boy. Kyle kept saying that he likes him, blah, 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 blah. So I apologize. I was wrong. I admit when I was wrong.
Hmm.
So now obviously there it's a job opening, and the first name everybody goes out is Bob Sala. And I'll let you take it from there, Hype.
All right, so um, I definitely understand why they went with Sorensen, right? He comes from the Legion of Boom era. A lot of people they know the surface level of stuff, but they don't know the history of people that's on our team. He
Correct.
come from the Legion of Boom era. He come from when Seattle was basically going at us in our division, and it was either us or Seattle. You know, from our division that was winning it. and they had that all pro defense, that Sherman played with, some other big name players, right? And that's kind of what we took. We took their philosophy of defense. And his philosophy is to play violent and to focus on takeaways. But when you do that, you kind of miss the fundamentals of defense, tackles, wrapping up, all these little things, you know, discipline. So I think, and I said it before earlier in the season that we're gonna move on from him. He's I think he understands football and understands defense, but I don't think he understands how to teach people. Some people are not teachers and they're not leaders of men. You know, when you get in that role to be a leader of men, it's a little bit different. Players respected him, but you could hear it in their voices. They wasn't confident in his capabilities as a defensive coordinator. Um, and like you said, everybody is on the Robert Sala train. I ain't gonna lie, I would love to have Robert Sala back. I know they came out and said, well, I know he's going to Jackson. I know he's going to Jackson for an interview, but I know that the team has come out and said that they definitely would like to make an offer to him. If they get the opportunity to do that, we'll see how that happens. But there is another name that's on my radar, um, and that's my man Jeff Ulbrich,
Yep.
Bay Area dude, played for
Yep.
the Niners.
Yep.
We were actually on his tail before we gave Soros in the keys. I think he will be the perfect candidate for us if we can't bring Robert Sala back home. If
Yep.
I'm Robert Sala, I'll tell you, I'm looking at it two ways. If I'm Robert Sala, I look at it as an opportunity for me to learn. I think when he took the opportunity to go to the Jets, I just think it was a little bit too soon. If you ask me, I think he needed a couple more years before he went out there. But who am I to say somebody shouldn't take opportunity, right? Opportunity to get a promotion, make some more money. But if Salah falls through, I'm looking like Jeff, like, hey, it's your opportunity to come back home, kid. Like, you understand 49 style of football. You know how
Correct.
what we want to do. So when I'm looking at this defensive coordinator situation, I don't want them to give it to Staley. I don't think he's the guy for us on defense. Something about him that he's a smart mind, but like, you know what I mean? He
But I
don't
mean,
move
he was
me.
in the building already, so why couldn't he had helped or fix it then?
He couldn't. That's what I'm saying. He was no help. It's like
Correct.
almost, it's like, you know how you get that one employee that they just keep their head low and they know if as long as they keep their head low and everything is good, they're gonna keep moving forward.
And get a check.
He, yeah, he played his position. You know what I mean? Playing his part. But I honestly think it comes down to two candidates that fit us, and that's of course Robert Sala and Jeff Olber. I think that's, if you ask me for deep coordinator, that's who I go with. I know Soros and everybody say he's a scapegoat. Nah, he did some things wrong. If you want to talk about what he really did wrong, every game we lost this season, we were up. We lost the games in the fourth quarter. Maybe one or two games, Kansas City, another game, Buffalo, right? Buffalo. Was it Buffalo we got blown out?
Yeah, we got blown out. Green
Yeah,
Bay got blown out. I
Green
was
Bay.
there.
So there was a couple of games that we got blown out, but there was some other losses that we actually was in the lead, or we were like maybe down by a touchdown. Fourth quarter, we couldn't stop. We just let the game people back in the game. So as a defensive coordinator, Kyle Shanahan said something important today at his press conference. Yes, it's my defense, it's my scheme, but you got to know how to be able to adjust. He said it. Since D'Amico left, we haven't had a defensive coordinator that was able to make those adjustments. Yes, it's my scheme, but you as a defensive coordinator got to be able to understand when you got to make those adjustments. Yeah. And I think that's we miss it. So somebody that can do that.
So when we go back to the season, when we go back to where we started out, thoughts on the season, I think Kyle screwed us a lot. And why I say that is because he's forcing these guys. If you go back to Wilkes is a great, I can say good coach and a good defensive coordinator, but wasn't allowed to bring none of his staff, wasn't allowed to implement what he really does, had to run what Kyle Shanahan did, and do try to imitate what Salah and D'Amico and them did instead of letting him be his own man and stuff. And it's the same thing. The reason why he did Sorensen, because
Right.
he's just trying to have too much control. I would rather him just hire a defensive coordinator, i.e., Rex Ryan, who did interview last year for the job, and say, you go run that defense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to run the offense, and obviously to be the CEO of the team as the head coach. Here goes my defense. You do what you make it do. They can't put up more than 20. You keep the team under 20, I don't fuck with you.
Right.
But instead, you have to run this defense and blah 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 blah, and then make adjustments from inside of my defense. Other than that, you got to run my defense. Like
Mm-hmm.
that just doesn't work. And the reason why I don't want Salah back, and I don't think he wants to come back, and I think I've said this before, but it's like, and some people might disagree with this because it has happened, but it's like going to back into an old, it's like being in a marriage, you get divorced, and now you want to remarry your old ex-wife or the
Mm-hmm.
girlfriend scenario. Like we going backwards. Like let's move forward. Like let's bring some new energy, some new fresh ideas into the building. And me personally, I would like to see an aggressive defensive coordinator, like I said, like a Rex Ryan, somebody who's gonna come in and blitz, because which we're going to get into, we pay Brock Purdy. We're going to lose talent. Like we're losing Hargrave, which he never panned out anyway. But a guy like him or a talented like him, but to play that defense that Kyle Shanahan wants to play, you got to have those defensive tackles up front to control that line of scrimmage. So Fred and Greenlaw, whoever, could run free. I think that's why we saw a decline in Fred, because those linemen was able to get to the second level to get blocked because we had no good D tackles in there up front to hold the linemen from not getting to the second level. Like
Mm-hmm.
it goes into so much more than just who's the defensive coordinator. So I think as we lose talent because we have to pay the quarterback, we're going to need to mask that with schemes. And I think the scheme should be a type of blitzing defense like Minnesota, Brian Flores right now. You can't name two people on that defense. You can't name them. 3
Right.
years ago, you could name them. Everson Griffin. You had the white boy at the safety, number 22. I mean, you had cats of Jared Allen. You had those dudes in Minnesota. Tell me
Right.
who, besides, I think Van Winkle is his name, that the white boy with the long hair, the outside linebacker who be making plays. Name somebody else on that Vikings defense.
So Darius Smith.
No,
No, no, that's
he's on the
lying. That's
Lions.
lying.
See what I'm
No,
saying?
what's the other guy? I was it was about the Lions and Vikings
Now
game. What's the other
Stephen
guy?
Gilmore is there, but I mean, like
Okay.
the
No, what's
average
the guy on the
dude or
line?
whatever, you really can't name him because the scheme is so good, and that defense be
You right.
balling. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with the Lions. The scheme is ball. Them dudes is all hurt, but the scheme is what's
Ronte
making them
said
be
Danielle Hunter. Yep,
successful.
Danielle Hunter. He was there.
Yeah, Daniil Hunter, he's not there no more. That's what I'm
No, but
saying.
he's saying he was there. You're
Yeah,
saying
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you can name them dudes who was there, but now it's a no name defense, and them boy and they balling.
right.
And
See,
us, it's just blitz. It's just base, no blitz, and we got to be more talented. And it ain't. It's not happening.
I'll tell you why the problem with Wilkes. Why Shanahan moved on from him, and why he didn't allow him to bring his brand of defense. Wilkes' philosophy of defense is he feels that defense starts in the secondary. And for certain teams, that might be. If you have some dogs in the secondary, yeah, your defensive scheme should start in the secondary where you could depend on your secondary to shut shit down. Our defense starts at the front line, in the trenches. And that's where the philosophies clash because he didn't understand like how to get the most out of our D line, our front seven. He didn't understand how to get that out of it. And that's where the problem lied with them. That's why Cal went with somebody that understands what he wants to do. Problem is when you got injuries and you can't really motivate the backups to come do what your starters do. It's
Yeah.
disaster. It's disaster. So yes, he said some things today that basically reiterated what you just said about being able to blitz and be able to be, everybody can go in there and do the same thing. It's plug and play. That's what he's looking for. Yes, he wants to keep the same scheme, but he's looking for somebody that can bring those other elements in and also know how to make those adjustments. I think that is where uh it'll wind up being. And that's why I know you said you don't want to go back to Salah, but I think Salah, I think if he was to come back, I think it would be a good situation for both parties, right? Because he's looking to probably move on within a year or two to get back into the head coaching carousel. But we also are looking to win. Like we want to win. So who do you go get? I mean, Rex Ryan, yeah, but I can't see Cal bringing Rex Ryan in the building because he's gonna be looking over his shoulder. Like, you know what I mean? Like
I mean, I don't
coaches
think
like
Rex
that,
will take it now. He interviewed last year, but I don't think
he's
he
going to
talked
New
a big
York. He's
crap
going to the
about this
Jets.
Jets job. I don't think he'll
He's going to
take
the
it now.
Jets.
But
I'm just saying.
it's got to be there are other guys out there who are similar to Brian Flores to Rex Ryan. I don't know who's on Brian Flores' staff, but it has to be that one guy, that's traveled with him the last 2 or 3 years, that's looking for a shot, who's with him in Miami, now that's came to Minnesota, might be his linebacker coach or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Right.
there's somebody out there that's aggressive, that's hungry, looking for an opportunity. And this is just me personally. That's the guy I'm looking for somebody. But even Gus Bradley, who just got fired, he runs a good defense. And D Buck is unhappy in Indianapolis. Maybe they
Yeah.
both come back as a package deal. You got the dude from the Bears who was fired mid-season.
Yeah.
That head coach. That
Nagy.
defense was balling last year. They were
Matt
balling
Nagy.
somewhat this year, but he runs a
Mhm.
good defense. You know what I'm saying? There's defensive guys out there who have good defensive schemes. I want to see us just do something new, and then don't handcuff them. Let them do them. Let
Yeah.
them run the defense as the defense they feel see fit to make us be successful. Because the defense is gonna look a lot different. Obviously, we
Yeah.
got to go through the draft. I mean, you got the corners are locked in. You're gonna have Green and Lenore at the corners, and you're gonna have Fred in the middle and Bosa up front.
Yep.
Everything else is a question mark. Oh, you're gonna have Mustafa and Jair in the back. But
Yep.
everything else is a question mark.
I'll tell you how I like to get in the draft, man. But I'm gonna leave that for a later topic. You're a Buckeye. I'm gonna leave it at
What about all right? So what about uh, let's go to the other side of the ball,
that.
the offensive coordinator stuff. To me, it's a like I said, it's a smoke screen. I don't know how to describe it, but it's really not that much. It's not all it is Kubiak is going to do a lot more work during the week and
Mhm.
take a lot of Kyle Shanahan's plate. That's essentially what it is. Now, what I was hoping for, which is sad because I'm hoping for somebody's downfall, but I was hoping that Mike McDaniels get fired and come home. Mike McDaniels is smart. He's creative, and he was the one pushing Kyle. If you go back to when Mike McDaniels was with us, how
Mhm.
offense looked a lot different, a lot more motions, all those kind of things. Now he implemented a lot into the game plans those weeks, and hopefully Kubiak is going to do the same now. But he had a lot of input within Kyle Shanahan, even though Kyle still called the plays, which is fine. But it's the work, the weeks, the stuff during the week, which made the difference. And I love Mike McDaniel's offense and his creativity. And I think that's what's wrong with our offense. It's not creative no more. It's not like everybody said, like uh, uh, the game before Arizona and the Arizona game, the Lions game, like just you sort of creativity, like Kyle, like fuck, where the hell's this been? Well, it's because the season was over. Like, well, shit, Kyle needs to be loosey goosey from day one. Like, let's open up the playbook, open up the offense, not just wait till now the season's over. Or I'll run these screens and this crazy screen and reverses and stuff like that because the season's over. Like, no, we needed that week one, week two, week three. But
Right.
I don't make nothing of it. The whole Kubiak news and him being the offensive coordinator. What about you?
I think he's gonna serve the same purpose that Mike McDaniels did. But I also, knowing from inside the building, I also know that the front office is telling Kyle, like, hey, maybe it's time for you to like have somebody you can talk to. Like geniuses The problem with being a genius, and I know people say he's not a genius. He is a genius. If you ask around the league, he is probably the most respected head coach in the NFL.
They all run his offense.
Yeah,
Some version of it.
if you look at it, yeah. If you look at the league is a copycat league. Everybody has built their teams to mimic what we do. Case in point, the Detroit Lions is the San Francisco 49ers of the past 6-7 seasons.
Yep.
They built their team through the draft. They got key components in veteran free agencies.
Yep.
Right? And they, just like we did, we got away from doing what we did. They had, at one time, they had a 3-headed running back monster. Now they have 2-headed monster. They got a third running back, but they got a 2-headed monster, right? They went and got a dog and a tight end, just like we got Kittle, okay? They went and got a Swiss Army knife, like we got Debo, St. Brown, right?
Yeah.
They went and got a guy that could stretch the field. We got BA. And that's why to this season, you see why we paid BA that money. Because the guys, there was no yak brothers.
Agree on that. Those wackos say all that other crap.
There was no yak brothers because they got nobody to take the top off. You get what I'm saying? But in Williams, right? In Williamson, that's who the Detroit Lions build their team just like us.
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson is Nick Bosa. You understand what I'm saying? So, yes, Kyle Shanahan is a genius. But the problem with geniuses is they don't have nobody on their level that they can talk to. He feels like there's nobody that understands what I'm doing, what's inside my head. He trusted Mike McDaniel because that was his boy.
Correct.
I think he trusts Kubiak the same way. That's why he said, you know what? I'm going to promote him. And we know he's not going to really be the OC, but he's going to serve the purpose that McDaniels did. And what McDaniels was able to do throughout the week, let the game plan to put in the game. Nah, that's not going to work against this team. Like, look what you got there. Look what you got. He has that again. But I do want to say something that's unpopular with a lot of fans. They're going to hate me. I don't care. Cal had put us in position to win games this season. There's a certain somebody who deviated from the game plan. And we all know who he is. I love him. You love him. Brock Purdy. I love Brock. And I don't care what nobody says. It's a 100% fact. Why was he throwing interceptions this season? Because he wasn't following the play. He was trying to make it happen. Case in point, how many times was the play for underneath and he tried to throw a bomb and got an interception?
A bunch.
Too many times. So when people say Kyle is not dialing right, he is. Just don't have the right personnel. When you don't have your people out there, sometimes players are lost in the sauce. So correct. I like the promotion for Kubiak. I just really think now. I think a lot of the key players, Brandon Ayuk, Debo already learned why it's important to be at OTAs, at training camp with the team during preseason, because you lose steps and you get injured. So I think I think this offseason is going to be a very important one because now we as fans are going to be able to see how a genius works. It's good to coach your team on the field, but how do you put your team back together off the field? And I think we got a good start.
Where you would go next? Because let's go to Brock.
All right, let's go to Brock. The $100 million man. Let's go to Brock.
You want me to go? Because go
ahead. Lay it out there. I like that. I like that.
All right. So Brock Purdy, former MVP candidate, now turned regular quarterback. I don't remember the stats off the top of my head. Is it 17 and 11, 17 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, something like that? Can pull it up. Second, so you did say something earlier about second half having the lead. His second half stats was horrible. I'm gonna say something hype, but you might not like it either. Now I've been saying Do not pay Brock. I've been saying that all over social media. Do not pay him. I still believe that. Make him play on his 5th year or 4th year option. Not even option. His 4th year of his contract. He has no leverage. Um, I don't believe he will hold out. I don't think he's that type of guy. He's a quarterback. Quarterbacks rarely hold out. Leader of the team, you need to show up. He might not come to OTAs, but camp start, he'll be there, knowing that we're making him play on his 4th year. Um, but under no circumstance am I paying Brock this offseason, me personally. And where I really have changed my mind is I don't think Brock's the guy.
Mm.
I don't think Brock's the guy. Small hands, always has trouble in the weather condition games, no matter what. Um, if we have to pay him, you can't pay all the other guys. I'd rather have a this is in general now. I'd rather have a bunch of all pros on the team opposed to just one quarterback and a bunch of okay dudes. Um, I just one guy who don't believe in paying the quarterback, but at the same time, I don't. I think the NFL needs to do something with this whole quarterback stuff. Anyway, like you shouldn't get paid $60 million just because you're the next up type shit, whatever.
Right.
But I just something in me tell me he's not the guy that in 3 or 4 years we're going to be saying get him out of here looking for somebody else. I'm looking for, which I was hoping that Trey Lance was, is one of these young dudes come in here and we can have for the 10 that has the physical abilities and the mental, and then obviously put it all on the field, put it all together, and we have a 15-year, 12-year run with a good quarterback. Um, and I'm just not sure Brock is it. I'm just because if Brock was it, in my opinion, we would have did a lot more this season without all the people around him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, people they can get on me in the comments, could talk shit. But I mean, I'll let you take it. I probably have a lot more probably after you talking, and some other stuff will come about. But I just don't. I just don't see Brock as the guy. I'm not against him now. I'm a root for him, whatever, whatever. But it's almost like Jimmy. His stats are the same as Jimmy, and we ran Jimmy out of here quick as hell.
Okay. Before I go, I'm gonna give a shout out to my sis Nina Nay with this awesome shirt. She made this shirt custom
Hey,
for me and my family, for me, the wife, the kids. On the back, it says Team Keys. I'll post it on my page so you can see the front and the back. Just want to
where
give
my
her a
shirt
quick
at?
shout
Nana
out.
knee? Where my shirt? I need something. I
Stay
need one of
game
them
ready.
Victory Monday shirts.
Stay game ready. SGR. Shout out to her. Um, Brock, Brock, Brock Purdy. Look, so
Travis King.
shout out to Travis. Gotta get with him soon. Monty, what's up? So Brock Purdy, I'm kind of torn between this, right? Because you know what? I feel like he is the guy. Okay. If you look at his past 2.5 seasons, right? His stats will say that he's in the top 5. He's been in the past 2 years, he's been in the top 3 in the top 3 categories, and the categories that quarterbacks are graded off, right? He's outplayed the so-called elite quarterbacks. He's outplayed them.
Mhm.
Like he's done better than uh Allen in the past 2 years. He's done
No, not
better.
Josh.
He did outplay Josh last year. He did. Josh had a bad year last year. Let's keep it a buck.
No, Josh finished like second in MVP voting.
Yeah, but why didn't Brock get the respect he deserved? Because everybody went with the narrative.
Because yeah,
Oh,
because
he's
he had
only
all
as
the
good as
help.
the people around him. What quarterback don't have help? What quarterback don't have help, right? My man Kurt Warner said it best this past Sunday. The narrative that Brock Purdy could only do things because he had people around him. Then that goes for every quarterback who was doing good and didn't have a bad season. Case in point, my man from Cincinnati. I'm going blank right now.
Joe
Can't
Burrow.
believe it. Say again? Burrow,
Joe
Burrow,
Burrow.
Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow didn't have his guys, right? He played like trash. So does that mean he's not elite no more? No, it just means like you don't have your people, right? Every quarterback has their people. It's just what it is. No elite quarterback, good quarterback, does not have a supporting cast that they can depend on night in, night out, right? So, first of all, a lot of people don't realize Brock Purdy's guy was Brandon Ayuk. It wasn't Jennings had a great season. It wasn't Jennings. It wasn't Debo. It wasn't Kittle. It was BA, and that's 100% fact. So you took away his comfortable piece because he got injured, right? So that's gone. So now with the most important piece to that quarterback gone, the rest of your supporting cast, your Debo Samuel, your George Kittle, they can't do what they need to do. They can't do it. You don't have C-Mac, right? So you don't have the personnel. As personnel is the most important part of a scheme. Your scheme works with the players that you're scheming up for. Sure, your second team, your third team, they should be able to come out and do what it do. That ain't what it is. Like you got Michael Jordan and you got Harold Miner, right? Harold Miner can do the dunks, but he ain't clutch like MJ. And I'm not a Jordan fan. I'm a New York Knick. My favorite player, Bernard King. Shout out to the King of New York. But what I'm saying is, like, you understand what I'm saying? Hey, don't do that now. But what I'm saying is, Brock is definitely the guy. Did he have a bad year? The team had a bad year, so yes, he had a bad year. Part of me wants to pay him some kind of good money. I can't justify $60 million a year. I can't justify that. Some part of me is like, yo, just like you said, we really don't have to pay him. This is your show me year. But to me, Brock is definitely the guy. He's definitely the guy. Jared Allen went through the same type of process where he was good, he went down, he's back up. Burrow, same thing. Good, down, back up. Matthew Stafford, he was playing good on a bad team. He's up. Detroit Lions, they are benefiting off of a quarterback who the league said was no good. But he's back up. It's a down year for Purdy. Purdy's definitely a guy. His numbers over the past couple of years, the success that he had with the team, the last player in the draft, got the team to the Super Bowl, right? Who did that? Only one quarterback in history did that. Last person in the draft.
That's true.
And he took it, right? So I feel like this is an important year for both Purdy and the team. He's our guy. If you don't want to pay him up front, you want to see what he could do halfway through the season, okay, I'm cool with that. But I think it's important to get him out the way. Pay him. But you can't pay him 60. You can't pay him 60. If you want the team to be competitive, you can't give him 60. But you got to pay him like a top QB. You got to. Now, if you don't want to pay him, here's the flip side. He's still our guy. Maybe you could bring in another quarterback for competition to put some fire on his tail or have him look over his shoulder. You understand what I'm saying? No Kirk Cousins. Please don't say Kirk Cousins, everybody out there.
No,
I don't want no Kirk Cousins. No. Not even Donald. People that saying go get Donald. Donald is staying in Minnesota. He ain't coming. They're not letting. He's
they're not letting him go.
Right? But I'm torn between paying him and not paying him. Because if you don't pay him, he looks as like, all right, don't pay me. I'm going to remember that. Y'all allow me to pay on this weak contract with this much success. And when it comes time for me to go, I'm gone.
Wow, then we franchise tag your ass. You ain't going nowhere. It's the NFL, son. This ain't the NBA. We got control.
Yeah, we do. I'm not sure which way the team is going to go. I think what they're going to try to do is secure some of their good players, the Greenlaws. They already said they want to bring Hargrave back, but at a lower number, right? I know Greenlaw know he can go get the bag.
He going to get the bag.
But you know what? I think some players are smart and they look at Al-Shaair. Hey, Al-Shaair should have stayed with us. He went with
he's like the leader of that defense now. And he
went
playing in the playoffs. He'll be home.
Before the Texans, He went with Rand, who's now out of a job. Okay,
Who needs to
he
come
went with
home?
Rand,
Who
right?
needs to come home?
Right. So he went with Rand, and the grass wasn't greener. He lucked up. He lucked up by D'Amico getting the opportunity. That's what happened. He went to a familiar environment is what's key for a player to be successful, especially in the NFL. Familiar faces, familiar schemes, familiar talent. He went to a team with a coach that he was familiar with and a player on defense, Nico Suave, right? He went with Jimmy Ward, somebody that he's familiar with. He's comfortable now. He's with his people.
How did we not win the Super Bowl with all of them? Jesus.
So I know as much people saying that Greenlaw might go. I watch social media just like everybody else. And his wife had posted a post. A lot of people don't know Fred Warner and Greenlaw are neighbors. So they're really tight on and off the field. They're in the same community. She was so emotional because she believes that they won't see their friends anymore. They're going to be moving on. And sometimes as a player, just like Ward said about his lady, sometimes players, they see those things.
Mm-hmm.
The cow juice checks, right? He could have moved on a long time ago, but he see that his lady is bonded not only with the other wives on the team, she's not only bonded with the team, she's become a part of the fan base. She become a part of the family. Money, yes, it's money. She's making money, but with her launch that she just did, she can go to any team and make the money now. But it's the familiarity of the faces of the people, of the environment. So I think Greenlaw stays, right? This is why you got when you're negotiating, and John Lynch is a great negotiator. When you negotiate, you got to be able to explain and get your point across to Brock Purdy. Yo, you're gonna get money. Listen, if we give you $45 million, you are in Silicon Valley, my friend. You are going to make that off the field with no. See, this is what people don't understand. The money you make as a player is shit. It sounds good. It's the endorsements where you make your money. I know I was in a different field. I was in the music business. Your contract is nothing. What you make outside of your contract. See, when I got in the music industry, 360 deals came about. The worst thing you can do as a recording artist, because the music industry was designed for recording artists and record labels to make money. Record labels made money off of your recordings, and that was it, because it was the music business. They didn't care about merchandise. They didn't care about tours, because they felt you didn't make no money out there. But when they started seeing some of these mega artists filling up stadiums, they're like, guys are in movies now. They ain't getting that money. So they're like, we got to fix this 360 deal. We're going to sign you and give you a deal, but we want a percentage of your movies, your merchandise. If you get cereals, we want a percentage of that money. So your contract ain't the money. It's what's outside of that. The 49ers make money off of you inside of 49er buildings, apparel, merchandise. But your Toyota deal that you just got, 49ers ain't getting that kind of money from you.
Nope.
That's all you. You get another deal. He got a deal with a tractor company. He's a farm. He's in the farming. Mm-hmm. It's not John Deere. It's somebody else. Another brand. That's his money. So you got to be able to sell that to him. Yeah, we're going to give you $45 million. But what does that mean for you and the team? That keeps you competitive for a very long time. Right? We could always, in a couple of years, make the contract better, a la Patrick Mahomes. Right? You got to believe in the process. Like, you got to ask yourself, Brock, what's more important to you? Being able to have longevity and success in this league at a high level for a very long time, plus be valuable off the field? Or do you want the bag now with a bad team around you, and then in 2 years, we dropping you, right? What do you want to do? Brock Purdy is a very smart young man. He will see $45 million. This is good. $45 million off of how much he made the past couple of years?
$900,000 each year.
45. John Deere. It is. Thank you, Monty. John Deere. So $45 million off of 900,000 you made. You are making some money, my friend. Don't let that number of the contract get you twisted.
Generational money.
Generational. Look at George Kittle. George Kittle had a big. Every player that we had that was an All-Pro for us, that was a star at their position, got paid at the top of that position. Every one of them. Okay, so George Kittle got the big contract. Then he realized, like, yo, this money is not really where it's at. I got the Zenny. Shout out to Zenny, my Zenny family. You know what I'm saying? My OptiFlex frames. So he got the Kittle collection. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He's done one things. Was it Pizza Hut or is Papa John's? One of them. Some pizza joints he's doing.
It's one of them.
He got the pizza commercial, right? His wife is a staple in the NFL community.
That's my girl. Shout out to Claire.
My kids are some of the luckiest kids in America. Let me tell you, Daddy's been on the field. I've been everywhere in that building. But I've never been behind the scenes on game day. I've never been like in the players' locker room on game day. I never did that. Like my daughter, we walking past the Bears locker room that day. Bears suck. It's funny as shit. We're in a golf cart going in the tunnels, like we in the back. We go right next to the Kittles. Claire Kittle. She said, "Oh my God, she's so cute." Like my daughter's like, "Oh my God, is that George Kittle's wife?" You know what I'm saying? So like, these are things you got to think about, right? George Kittle was making money. He's having success. He benefited off playing off a quality team for very, very long. Okay, but what did he do to stay here? Every couple of years, he took a pay cut. Fred Warner took a pay cut. So what the veterans got to tell Brock is like, yo, your first initial signing of the contract, you're going to get the bag in that year one. You're going to get paid then. Forget about everything else. Your money is going to always be there. But make the money off the field, my son. He gonna get paid. He's going to get 45 to 50 million. Watch what I tell you. But that's going to allow us. Listen, Debo is still here under contract.
Yeah.
Right? They already said they're keeping Debo. Kittle's not going to go nowhere. Kittle's Mr. 49er.
Kittle needs to actually re-sign. And shout out to Kittle. He actually had a great season.
He's going to re-sign.
1,000-yard season. They need to re-sign. He's going into the last year of his contract. They need to re-sign him, which
he's
will
a priority.
Help create cap, salary cap.
I tell y'all, watch social media, right? Claire Kittle on her Instagram had the 49ers schedule up, and she circled 3 games. She said, "This will complete my stadium tour. It's probably 2 more, but this will be a good Indianapolis, New York, and Houston." The kid was a stand.
Yeah.
Check.
He's not going nowhere. I think
Juice is not going nowhere. No, I don't think he's going. You know what?
I think Juice is going.
Juice is not going to go. You know why? Juice is he's a part of the Shanahan crew. The Cabo crew. He's not going. I'm telling you, he's not going.
He took a huge pay cut this past year and didn't want to take it. He's going.
He's going to take one more pay cut. Watch what I tell you.
Juice is
Watch
going.
what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. You heard it here first.
Listen,
Hypeman.
Juice is gone. Aaron Banks is gone. Greenlaw's gone.
Banks gone. Banks is gone.
Hufanga's probably gone.
He's gone. He could go. Can't stay healthy.
Ward is gone.
Mooney's gone. But I'll tell you this. I know Kittle stays.
Yeah,
Juice is going to stay. Juice is staying.
Oh,
I'm telling you. Watch what I tell you. Juice is staying. They want to bring Hargrave back. He's going to go out there and realize what he thinks his value is not there, and he's going to sign back with us at a lower price. That's why they did it. They did what he did to him today.
But is it even worth it? He's shown nothing. He's shown nothing since he came here.
He played injured. He played injured longer than what when he finally went out. They announced it, but he was injured way before that, and you could tell that he wasn't. He had no oomph. He didn't have it.
Yeah, but he
ain't Fred Warner. He can't play on a fractured bone. Like, you know what I mean?
We need some big D tackles. What's my man name who left us and went to the Broncos?
Oh, DJ.
Yeah.
DJ Jones.
DJ Jones. We need that type of D tackle, not this finesse.
We almost got him. We almost got him in a trade all season.
We don't need this finesse D tackle crap. We need a big body in there doing some work.
You said
run
Defoe. Defoe
stuffing.
might be a Defoe might be available to come back to us.
Yeah.
Um, but I'll tell you something. I know Mooney Ward might be gone, but we got the draft coming up, and there's two players, probably three, from my Ohio State Buckeyes. Shout out to my Buckeyes. Shout out to my Buckeyes.
Don't lose.
We ain't gonna lose, baby. Look, we got the revenge game out of our system last week. Shut the number one team down, and we showed everybody that all right, this is Ryan's last hurrah if he don't make it happen for us. And he knows it. He's on the hot seat. So we good. We good. But there's two players, possibly three from our Ohio State Buckeyes that I feel can impact us in a positive way on defense. One is the man with the plan, Jack Sawyer. You know what Jack Sawyer is? He's a DN. He's Nick Bosa, but he's a better version of Bosa. Okay. The next is in the
Better
secondary.
version of Bosa. We need to trade Bosa.
I get it. Listen, that's my guy. If he brings back the most for us, I'm with it. But I don't think we trade him. I don't think we
No,
trade
I'm
him.
just no, we
Yeah.
not trade. I'm just talking shit.
And I like to get Denzel Burke. He's a cornerback. He's a shutdown cornerback. He's a dog. I know. You know, we got some dogs back there now, but we gonna need some backups. Okay.
You
We
always
some
need
backups.
more, but I don't know.
And JT Tuimoloau, you know who that is?
That's the tackle, right?
He's a DN, but he could probably play tackle. No, he's too light to play tackle. But I'm just saying, I think we're gonna be all right at D tackle. I think we're gonna make a good move. Like I said, I think Defoe, they might be looking to bring him back. Right? I know you said Gus Bradley, that might be a thing, but I don't know if we're gonna go. I think we're gonna go more somebody who played the positions, who was out there. I think Ulbrich is who we're gonna bring. But I think we keep Greenlaw. You got to remember.
But it ain't
Listen,
happening.
you got to remember the people that stood by your side and believed in you when you went through the lowest points of your career. He was injured, and the team believes in him. They still do. Yeah, he's gonna get some attractive offers out there. At the end of the day, where you comfortable at? You can't go. You
I'm
can't go
comfortable with
to.
it. Gonna pay me $15 million a year.
He's seen how that worked out for his boy. He's seen how that worked out for him. And it don't work out for everybody like that. Everybody don't have that kind of success all the time. I think he's gonna stay right where he at. I think he understands what's in front of him. They have the opportunity of finishing a career with his sidekick. Him and Fred Warner, they could finish it out. Just like Navarro and Patrick. Patrick went a little early, but you know what I'm saying? I think he sees that. The money is money talks.
I
think
hope
he's gonna
so,
get paid
bro.
less.
I mean, I think he's the heart and soul of the defense. And you saw just in his one game how much of an impact of him being on the field, his energy and stuff, and all the stuff that he cleans up brings. But I just don't see it, bro. I've said it all season. Like the team's gonna be dramatically different next year. Dramatically different.
I think people are gonna be surprised. I was for sure that the team would be moving on from Debo. I was for sure. Because I feel like, he's at a part of his career where you probably can get something good for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I feel. Like, you can get something good for Debo Samuel still. Just his name, right? The name
correct.
Debo Samuels. You feel as a team. Most owners don't even care about winning. They care about selling merchandise and keeping tickets, keeping the seats filled. So somebody like a Debo Samuel gets your fan base hyped up. You know what I mean? So
Correct.
I felt that they would move on, and the fact they didn't move on from Debo told me a lot about their direction. It told me that they're trying to keep. John Lynch said it perfectly. We don't let good
Good
players go.
players.
And he said it's not just about being a good player on the field, it's being a good player off the field. Good people. He said, when you have good people, you do what you can to hold on to the good people. He said that at the press conference today. So Dre Greenlaw is one of those good people that he's talking about. Debo, Kittle, those are the good people that he's talking about.
Correct.
Juice wants to stay here. He's going to do what he got to do to stay here.
Juice ain't staying.
Hey,
You know,
watch.
You know what? This kind of goes back to how we started the conversation on what went wrong. You know,
Mhm.
this season is a product of a bunch of different things, but it's another product of what the Lions are about to go through. It's a product of being good for seasons
Mhm.
upon season, and you losing people in the front office to go to other teams. You
Mhm.
losing your coordinators constantly, and you got to bring in new coordinators because they've gotten head coaching jobs, and then those coordinators are taking the linebackers coach and the cornerbacks coach with them to other places to
Yeah.
elevate. McDaniels left and took offensive people. So this is a long this has been in the making this past season for a while now with all the not just the players that we've lost and moved on, but also obviously the coaching staff and the front office people and everything like that. So it's a turnover issue too that caused this season to be like this. But
Yeah, absolutely.
this is why you gotta keep reinventing yourself and keeping good people around you. And like he kind of said, and like you just said, like do whatever you can do to fight, claw, and keep good people around you, whether it's in the front office or and on the field. And obviously, we've lost a lot of good people in the past 4 to 5 seasons. You know.
Yeah, yeah. You're right, man. But I'm telling you, I feel it. I feel like the team understands that we're at a pivotal moment with this team. And now that we have so much time to actually think things through, really get down to how do we keep these players 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. It's ways you can do it. Um, is it a multi-year deal? And we've been here before. We've been here before where we had to give some of our key players multi-year deals, 2-year deals, and make it happen. I honestly see you said teams get picked apart for coaching staffs, the
Mhm.
GMs, the players, right? The thing that works in our favor this offseason, especially for defensive players, there's nowhere but only one place in the league where he's going to go to a familiar spot. And he's not going to be the man on that spot because there's already two good linebackers there that's in place in Houston. So he can't go there because there's already two guys there. He's not going to bump one of them. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
There's
but
we
shit,
don't have
he better not go in the division. A lot of these people, they fucking go to the team within the division. You imagine him on
wait.
the Cardinals next year or something? Oh my gosh.
If he's going to be in the NFC West, he's going to stay with us. I think Greenlaw stays with us. I think Fred Warner has a lot to do with that. You watch what I tell you. You watch what I tell you. He he
We'll see.
understands. He understands what he has in front of him. He's a smart young man. If he stays with us, he's going to get paid. Because you got to remember, we don't got really. They just did Debo's contract, so that way it helps us, right? His contract, Debo's final year helps us. We will resign Kittle, give him a different type of deal, okay? But everybody outside of Brock Purdy, we already said we're gonna lose Mooney Ward. There, we already, I think that's the
Yeah,
consensus
Mooney's
that he's out.
gone.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
got some money. We already took care of Lenore, right? We already took care of him. BA's taken care of. So everybody that needs to be taken care of is taken care of, except for one. Even Trent Williams is taken care of, right? We really don't got to pay George Kittle. We don't have to extend him,
No, but it makes sense to because
but
it
we're going
actually
to.
helps.
He's Mr. 49er and he's gonna retire a Niner.
Yeah, but it
We
actually
don't.
it also helps.
Yeah, it helps. We don't have to give D-Ball a new deal. We're not going to give him a new deal. He's going to play on this last year of this deal. He said, wait, he has 2 years left. Am I
2 years
right?
left.
2 years. So he's staying. He's going to play. So really, we got to take care of we got to take care of Greenlaw and Brock Purdy. That's the priorities right there.
And then
We
you still
already
gotta find some talent. Like you still need a D line that somebody go on the other side of Bosa. Like you ain't gonna be able to sign no big free agents or nothing. Like
the
they
good
gonna have
thing
to
about
dig. They got to dig in the crates.
being a good team like the 49ers, not just as far as a good playing football team, but an organization, is you start to get those players who've been in losing situations for long periods of time,
Yeah,
and
hopefully, and want to come.
that they want to get an opportunity. Okay, and you're gonna get that. You're gonna get that. We had one we thought was going to be a good player, but he turned out to be a sucker. And that's DeAndre Campbell. Okay, right? He played on the Green Bay team that was on the come up. They wasn't there yet. They was on the come up, but he came to us for a cheaper deal.
Yep.
So we're gonna get those players. We're in a good spot with the draft right now. We draft 11, right? Monty said Hufunga. Don't forget Hufunga. I like Hufunga. I like Huff. But let me tell you something. Huff came back from an injury and got re-injured. Dove on a guy.
Greenlaw too.
Yep. Dove on a guy for no reason and messed his hand up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think we move on from Huff. As much as I love him,
I would like Huff to come back, but I want to keep everybody. Shit.
He want too much money. He's going to demand too much money, and we're not.
Former All-Pro, got a lot of talent.
But you know what? You got two good safeties right now, two young safeties.
His instincts, though, like you could do a lot with him.
I agree with you, but for him to stay, he gonna have to, like I said with Use, you're gonna have to, if you want to be here, you're gonna have to help the team out. A multi-year deal. Show it. You've been injured. Show it. Show that you deserve a bigger deal.
Yeah. I don't know, bro.
I'm telling you, man. We all right. We're going to get some good key players this offseason. We're in a good spot in the draft. And I know everybody say draft for O-linemen. The problem I have with that is we don't need a young player. We lucked up. We lucked up with Pooney. We lucked up with him to get a young man to come into this kind of league that can give you that type of success on the line. We lucked up there.
That's true.
You're gonna have somebody next to Trent Williams. You need to have a quality veteran.
I think you actually should. We gotta re-sign Jalen Moore too. He's a free agent. And he played really good in Trent Williams' absence. The O-line
absolutely
wasn't the issue this year. The O-line actually played solid. There were some times where whatever, but they were solid for the most part throughout the whole season.
Right.
Even McKivens all the way over on the right side. Like the line played solid this year.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. You got a lot of players who feel they can go out there and get the bag, but they're not gonna get the bag. Some of them might
free agents.
Some of them might get the bag because of just coming from the 49ers. Teams want to replicate what we did, but at the end of the day, it's all about being comfortable too, man. Making money is making money, but it's all about being comfortable too. Ask Eric Armstead how it feels to be in Jacksonville. Ask him.
So what's next? What's next for the 49ers? I guess the next is what? The first big thing. Hold up. Before we even get to what's next, another elephant in the room we didn't address real quick is this whole Moody situation.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah, I told you when I was in Charlotte, man. But what I told you, it's time to let him go, man. Time to let him go.
I don't think they're going to release him.
They're going to release him.
I don't think so.
They're going to release him.
He got 2 years remaining, right?
He gone.
They drafted him. They're paying him peanuts. It cost them nothing to keep him on the roster. Listen, hear me out. On the roster throughout the off season, in camp and everything. But they will sign probably 3 or 4 kickers and have a competition in camp. But I believe he is in camp next year, a part of that competition. Because the other part of it too, I'm sure whoever the special team coordinator is going to be, they're going to say that
it's going to be Sorensen. It's going to be Sorensen.
I hope not.
That's what it's going to be.
They're gonna say they saying bye. Peace, everybody. Moody is not. I don't think Moody's being released in the offseason because it doesn't hurt them to keep him. And at the end of the day, no matter what we think about him and what happened during the season, he has talent. So what does it hurt you to keep him and let him come kick some footballs in camp?
I'm gonna tell you something. 2 things before I answer that. Monty, yeah, we did Jennings that deal, 2 years deal, and I seen Hodges. Yeah, we got him. I like him. He's He's nice. He's nice. He played with the Giants a couple years ago. He's nice. He's nice. Yeah, he's nice. Moody gone. Now I can hear your philosophy about him being around doing training camp and stuff. That might be so. There might be a spot for him on the practice squad. I don't know.
Listen, no practice squad. I don't think they keep kickers on the practice squad. But I agree. He should be gone.
They did. We had a kick on the practice squad. Yeah. So I'll tell you, the way Kyle Shanahan threw that tablet down, it told me everything I need to know about Jake Moody and his 49er history, his career.
Why rock out, continue to throw him out there? Why not do it then? You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
We ain't have nobody else. Why throw another kicker $1 million at the end of the season? It's over. Season's over, right? After the Rams game, the season's pretty much over now, right? So why go put $1 million in the kicker for 3 games? You just ride it out.
Purdy's ride it out. To start the year next year. Let's go, Purdy. I mean, not Purdy, Moody. Let's go, Moody. Let's go, baby.
Man. He gone. Homie, let me tell you something. Wait, Minnesota, not this season, last season. Minnesota, right? My big bro Marvin, his squad. We were out there at the front of the Players Hotel. Everybody was inside around the corner at Takeover, the invasion party. But we was in front of the Players Hotel. And when Jake Moody came out to get on that bus, somebody shouted, "What's wrong with him? Why does he look so sad?" Right? All the other players was like, the players are hype, you know what I'm saying? My big bro Marvin screamed at John Lynch, "We need to do a trade." And John Lynch did his thumbs up, and we went and traded for Chase Young that next week. It was the funniest thing ever. I swear it happened. It was a true story. But Moody came out of the hotel, and he was moping. I'm like, what? Baby. He's gone. He's gone. He might be able to revive himself at somewhere different, maybe kick inside of a dome stadium or something like that. But he ain't got no place on this team next year. If he makes it on the team, if he makes the 53 and he's a starting kicker, I'll be damned. I doubt it. He gone, man. Jake Moody gone.
No, Monty, I'm not the president again. No, I can't back
Monty, you should have seen me when he walked. Listen, what game was that? I was down there for Tampa Bay game, right? I'm in Charlotte.
Yeah, Tampa Bay game.
And he walked out of his watch party. Brad walked out of his watch party. He was disgusted. And I walked up to him. I met him at the door. I said, "You got to get over him, man. You got. He's not what it is." Brad knows. He just want to have the faith. He's gone.
So, all right. So the next big thing we should see is probably the D coordinator hire.
Yeah, that'd be the next big piece. And I'll tell you, I don't mind Sorensen being the special teams coordinator. You know why? If his philosophy is violence and takeaways, that's exactly where he needs to be.
Yeah, you want that on special teams.
You want that on special teams, and that's what we've been missing. So if Kyle Shanahan is some way able to get him to stay because of that, that's actually brilliant. So now we see Kyle Shanahan genius in the play. He has a full offseason to put it together. And that right there saying, okay, you didn't work out here, but really, this is where you're going to make your bread and butter. Right here, being our special teams coordinator. You could tell the guys to go out there and fucking fly like missiles. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, we need a kicker, a punter.
Hell yeah, we need a punter.
Yeah,
what the hell happened with Hitnowski?
He got hurt and
ain't been the same.
Yeah, I don't remember, but all right. So we got D coordinator hire, and then I haven't even started looking at draft stuff. To be honest with you, so I would say, man, let's reconvene after the D coordinator hire.
Yeah,
and we go from there.
Yeah, I think I told you who my picks was. Saleh and Ulbrich. I think if Saleh definitely signs with Jacksonville, which is the possibility.
I don't think he gets a head coach job.
You think he get a head coach job?
That'd be another fucked up situation for him too. Trent Baalke. I can't believe he kept Trent Baalke. He should have fired fucking Trent Baalke too.
Trent Baalke, he's a master negotiator with them owners, man. He know how to keep himself in a situation.
Yeah. So but I don't think I think unfortunately, because at the end of the day they count him as a black man, that might be the Rooney Rule interview.
Right. So if he doesn't come back home, which I think it's a high possibility.
And like I said before, I don't think he wants to come back home too, because he wouldn't have went to Green Bay, even though that's his man and he was his best friend and they was in each other's wedding. He would have came home then. He could have came home
Well,
already.
you got to look what he wanted. He wanted to be hired as a consultant
or whatever.
Yeah, and he probably seen that this season was going down the drain for us, right? Those coaches know he knew it, so he's like, there's no money for me to be a consultant right now there. But if they move on, maybe I'm their guy again. And actually, he didn't want to leave us, but the money was too good. He didn't want to leave, but they threw the bag at him, and the biggest sports market in the world. Like, who's not going to take that? I'm jumping at that. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, chance to be a head coach, you got to take it.
You got to take it. So I think now he realized, okay, maybe I should have sat in the porch a little bit longer before I jumped off the porch, right? What could I do to go back to learn some things? Because, like, yes, he's a great defensive coordinator when he was with us, but he wasn't a leader of men. He wasn't a head coach. He only really knew one side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So did he learn from Cal how to run offices? Like how to talk with office coordinators to get your point across, what you want done? No, he didn't. And then he went into the situation got worse because they went and got the team killer, Aaron Rodgers. That was it. Once they got Rodgers, I said he was gone. Once they got Rodgers,
would you take Aaron Rodgers for one season?
No, not at all. And I know what everybody's saying, but Devontae Adams come with him. No,
I don't think we don't have no money for all of that. Shit, for all of that.
If we was to do a trade with the Jets for Debo for him, it would happen.
No, I would do Debo for fucking Garrett Wilson.
Oh yes, look. Let me tell you something. My dad's a Jets fan. Shout out to my dad. He was like, Aaron Rodgers is coming to your team. You're bringing one of our receivers. I said, we don't want him. I don't care about the Bay Area thing. We don't want him. If Kyle Shanahan wanted him, he'd had a chance to get him a couple years ago.
Correct.
And Kyle Shanahan passed on him. I think Aaron Rodgers retires this offseason. He said they were saying game day, right? You know, pregame, right? Everybody comes to the building and stuff like that. He was in the locker room. He was basically talking about things like, you know, how great it was and, you know, had a wonderful career to like a lot of the players in the locker room. Like, let's go out there and let's have fun today. Let's end it the right way. He had his best game as a Jet. he had 4 touchdowns. Like, you know what I mean? Where was that at all season, sir? I don't want Aaron Rodgers. No. I pass. Do you want Aaron Rodgers?
Hell no. I was just asking. Just
he
asking.
He can go. Now, here's one thing I would do. Not sure if it's a possibility, but sometimes money talks. If it was a possibility, I would trade Brock Purdy and Deebo Samuels to Cincinnati for Joe Burrow and T. Higgins.
I would do that too, but you'd have to throw a lot more in. Fucking first round picks and everything.
They can have these draft picks. They can have all. If we were able to get Joe Burrow and T, because they're not gonna be able to keep T. Higgins. He's gone. Okay, he's gone.
Yeah, I would do. Come on, I would do that too. In a heartbeat.
Brock Purdy's our guy. He's my guy. Okay,
he's your guy, not my guy.
He's your guy too. You just mad right now. He's your guy too. But I'm about business, and if we was able to get T. Higgins and Joe Burrow in a trade,
game over.
I would do that. Brandon Ayuk will come back. We got Ricky. We got Pretty Ricky. We still got Third and Juwan. I would do that. I would 110% do that.
We would put up 50 points every week.
I love him, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think we keep who we got. I think we add a couple of pieces. We add through the draft. Jack Sawyer's out there. John Lynch, if you're watching, Jack Sawyer is out there. I know we got Floyd for another season.
It's two. He signed 2 years.
I believe it's a 2-year deal. I might be wrong, but I think it's 2-year deal. But if we can get another Boza on the other side of that line, I don't care who you put at D tackle. I don't care who you put at D tackle. I don't care if you put who you put at D tackle. If you got another Boza on the other side of that line, whoever's at D tackle for us is gonna eat.
They better. They
Because
one-on-ones running
Boza,
inside.
I mean, Floyd is a good piece, but Boza has never had another him on the other side of that line. He's never had it as an NFL player. Think of like when we had Aldon Smith, right?
Don't get me started.
That was my guy. I created a page for him. It's still active. Support Aldon Smith. That's when I first started really doing Facebook. This is years ago.
Oh my
Right?
God.
I had a support Aldon Smith page. If we
Damn
was
right
to go
you
after,
love him.
if we had to go after Jack Sawyer, watch the game on Friday. You might not be familiar with Jack Sawyer. Watch the game on Friday.
The dude from Penn State is cold. Number 11.
He is cold.
Andre Carter or something like that.
Watch number 33, or even JT Tumaloya. Watch him. Watch the Samoan. Either one of them, and he wears 44. Okay, 44, 33. Do your homework. Watch them on Friday, and I want you to tell me what you think about them. Jack Sawyer. Think Aiden Hutchinson, right? To me, Aiden Hutchinson is a more polished Nick Boza. Okay? If we can get somebody faster than Boza that plays with the same motor as Boza, that's every down he's going after it. Whether he's tired or not, he's going after it. Watch what I tell you. So imagine like having a player, when you watch him, imagine having a player like him, Boza and Floyd, where you can interchange. Oh, Boza, you tired? Okay, you go over here, Sawyer. Floyd, you here. Floyd, you tired? Sawyer, you go over here, Boza. Imagine plug and play, like you said. Have the movable, interchangeable pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Sawyer.
All right.
Watch.
Well, Hype Man, think we come to an
man.
end, brother.
Appreciate you.
Another great conversation.
Yes, sir.
Giving the fans, the people, the real.
It's a fact.
Agree on a lot, differ on some others, but as always, great dialogue. And
before we go, I just want to send out my thoughts and prayers to everybody in Southern California, Los Angeles. You know, with them fires, what you're going through. You know, definitely in my prayers. Just take heed to the words if they're telling y'all to leave, evacuate. You know, I know memories and houses and all that stuff is important, but those things can be replaced. Your life can't, you know. So we are thinking about you. We are with you. We are praying for you. We had a lot of faithfuls out there, you know, that are our family over the years, and we are praying for you and your loved ones.
Yeah, big facts. So other than that, man, we out. We'll be back after we hire a D coordinator and start talking some draft talk.
I'm with it. Let's go. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Love you. Peace.
All right, love you too, bro. One.